welcome back to my channel. My name is Alexis, and in today's video, I really want to talk about the journey to building confidence and how to do it by yourself from the inside out. I've got some really easy, practical, small, broken down steps. I'm going to put them right here on the screen, and we're going to go through each and every one of them. I know that for me, at least, when it gets warmer outside and there's a lot of activity with summer, there can sort of be this pressure to be outside and be like super social and charismatic and out there. And I know folks are like dressing a little bit more scandalous and like showing more skin, and that's all great. And sometimes it feels like there's this switch where you just have to, or you feel pressure to turn on confidence or fake it till you make it. And I actually want to help you fake it less and actually embody the confidence that you know you have. You may just need to ignite it a little bit. So I've got some suggestions on the screen. I'm actually gonna be looking to my left, so don't mind me, I'm gonna be looking at my notes. The very first thing I would recommend is getting out in nature. We are so disconnected as a society from nature, and I think we really underestimate how spending time in nature can really help us feel grounded. And it also helps to quiet out all of the noise and the chatter from social media, from our peers, even our inner dialogue. There's a lot of scientific studies about actually putting your feet in grass and feeling the plates and the dirt of the earth and how that helps to ground the body. I've also heard of grounding mats too that you can put under your feet. They're pretty pricey, but I've heard that those work really well. But I will say, I would recommend actually like going out to a park, walking your neighborhood, and doing it without headphones. I know, it's hard, but I think that detail is going to be really important. Ultimately, the idea that we're trying to get across, that I'm trying to get across here, is that confidence starts by, or really is grounded in trusting yourself. And when we're constantly out and about or constantly on social media, we're bombarded with all of these different opinions and ideas and algorithms about what we should be doing and what we should be watching and what we should be thinking. But when we completely unplug and then get out into nature, we're actually getting more in tune with ourselves and our inner voice. And I think that's so important to know what that feels like, what that sounds like. I know that being in nature also cleanses your energy. So this week, if you can, get outside and walk for at least 30 minutes or bike or run or jog, and really try to do it without music to really tune in. The second thing to try is making a promise to yourself and keeping it. I know that when I first heard about this, I start to feel a little bit guilty because I was thinking about, all of the dreams or the goals that I want to do, but I haven't yet, or like I'm afraid, or I'm still in the process. And I realized that thinking like that, it's good to think big, but when you're building confidence, it's better to start super small and super micro. If I make this giant goal, let's say like posting 3 videos a week, and I try to like randomly make that promise to myself without having any sort of slow momentum leading up to it, I'm going to crash and burn, and then I'm going to feel even worse about myself. So make a promise to yourself that's super small. For example, one of mine is I am going to try to go to yoga at least 1 time this week. Simple, easy. I like that I give myself like multiple days to do it this week versus I'm going to the gym 3 times this week. I'm doing, all legs all week, or like, it's just, you don't want to go too hard too fast. Another thing could be, I'm going to cook a meal for myself one day this week. And your ability to follow through on what you promised yourself does build confidence. I swear it makes you feel so badass because you're slowly starting to build that trust and that belief in yourself that when you say something to yourself, when you want to do something for yourself, that you actually do it. And having that win in the background is something that you can call up time and time again when things get like a little bit harder, or are you starting to feel like your confidence slip. Okay, third one is to dress cute or get cute at some point during your week. I don't know about y'all, but yes, I love living in yoga pants at home. I like not wearing makeup sometimes, but when I do put on makeup, when I do, go that extra mile, I start to feel better about myself. And there's always that saying, like, when you look good, you feel good. And I don't know if you know this, but perfume and scent is also tied to not only memories, but emotion. So if you put on like one of your favorite scents that day, it can totally shift the way you think about yourself, and it can make you feel really good, really sensual, really sexy. One of my favorite all-time scents is Will by Aesop. And every time I spray this perfume on, I feel like $1,000,000. It's very woody, it's dark, it's deep, there's freshness to it, and it's just my favorite scent. Every time I wear it, it lasts on me, it wears well on my skin, and I just feel so good about myself. I've noticed like when I start to feel down or depressed about myself, like my personal upkeep starts to suffer. And so if I make an effort to get on top of it, I'm less likely to like start feeling bad, or I'm also less likely to just like stay in the house because I'm like, oh, I look cute, I should like go out and do something. Okay, the next thing is to cook a home cooked meal for yourself. I love eating out. I really do. But the reason why this applies to confidence is because we're working on confidence from the inside out. So the more small gestures that you can do for yourself rather than relying on another person or an outcome or, something else, you're starting with yourself. And when I cook a meal for myself, I feel really good. It takes effort, okay? Concentration, it takes a lot of time. And I tend to also save money. I also tend to eat a little bit cleaner or a little bit healthier, which I think will make the body feel good, make the mind feel good. And so it starts to have this ripple effect. And we're really wanting to build a domino effect, because I think that with confidence, once you knock down that first domino of good action or good intention, you want to keep following that path and you want to keep that momentum up. Okay, so my last tip, this is probably the most important tip that I have found works wonders for building your confidence from the inside out very easily. It's probably one of my hidden gems that is very underestimated. But this technique comes from Neville Goddard, who has a lot of techniques. He's written a few books about manifestation. This isn't necessarily about manifestation. I know this is about confidence, but the premise with this is that you want to journal your wins and you want to revise the things that you didn't win or that didn't go your way. Let me explain. So you've heard of something like a gratitude journal, right? This is something very similar in which I call a revision journal. So before you go to bed, write down 2 to 3 wins that you had, no matter how small. Then you're going to jot down 2 to 3 things that, let's say, you didn't win or that didn't go the way that you wanted it to. And you're going to revise the ending so that it ends up going the way that you wanted it to. And this revision of an experience that didn't go well, but you wanted to go well, what it does is it starts to build this memory that things end up working out for you, that things end up turning around for you, that you always end up getting exactly what you want. And so, of course, having that sort of confidence inside then gets reflected out into your reality, because now you're expecting, no matter what happens that day, you're going to turn it into a win. The key part too is doing this before you go to bed, because we're trying to put this into your subconscious mind, and we're trying to essentially like build that rewiring in your brain. I would do this, if you can, a few times a week. I'm not going to say every day. I think that's really hard. If you can do every day, great. But maybe try also doing this once a week, twice a week, and see how you start to feel. See how things start to change for you. So that is everything that I've learned so far about building confidence from the inside out. Let me know if you try some of these methods. You know, the biggest thing too is that the killer of confidence is perfectionism. So I want you to expect things to not go perfectly, embrace that they don't go perfectly, and turn them into a win. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you all so very much. And it's going to be a super great, super hot summer. We're going to be super confident. I'm so excited to take this journey with you all. Okay, until next video, I will see you all very soon. Bye.